for my 9th general heathen topic tonight, folk and race. There is a deep division within heathenry between the folkish and the non-folkish. To the folkish, the Germanic gods are the gods of the Germanic people. It's inappropriate and unnatural for a non-Germanic person to wish to be a heathen. Most folkish also see the gods as more or less literally our ancestors. Therefore, it follows from this that people's attraction to heathenry comes from their blood, that they feel they're coming home when they become heathen. And a corollary of that is that folkish tend to think that Germanic people should become heathen, feel drawn to it. On the other side, the non-folkish, who are sometimes called universalists, believe that if someone is attracted to heathenry, they have a perfect right to be. But it's not our place to examine their ancestry. Possibly they're attracted to heathenry because the gods are calling them, and why should we want to, or think that we have the right to analyze the gods' motives and say no to something that they want? Maybe the person has Germanic ancestry that they're unaware of. No matter. One's religion is not the same thing as one's ancestry. Everyone has a right to worship who and how they please. And it's an insult to the gods to seek to copyright them or to set up a gate around them. This is a genuine division of thought, almost unbridgeable. And so I'll declare forthrightly that I'm on the universalist side. I prefer to leave it to the gods if they find someone inappropriate, or to the person to realize that it's not for them after all. And I see no obligation with someone of Germanic heritage to be heathen. We are surrounded by examples of people who are quite happy with other religions, whatever their heritage. So here are some thoughts from me with that set of cards laid on the table at the outset. Our ancestors, the ancient heathens, were very proud of their families. Family and kin came first. Beyond that, in some places and times, their adherence was to a tribe. In other places and times, to a nation, although it was likely much smaller than anything we would think of as a nation today. But family came first. And it followed from that that the tribes and the nations were more fluid than we might imagine. In the chaos when Rome was decimating tribes, the remnants of destroyed tribes came together in more than one case and made a new combined tribe. At least one of those included Celtic as well as Germanic people. The Celts were historically enemies of the Teutons, of the Germanic people. Their tribes were rivals in all the places where there were Celts as well as Teutons. But they came together and formed a blended tribe. We have an example of that smack dab in the middle of the law. The Aesir and the Vanir. fought a war, made peace, and came together in a blended tribe. Similarly, regardless of the history between Germanic people and Celtic people, in Iceland, many people are descended from Irish Celtic women, whether they were concubines or wives. In Dublin, a Norse city grew up with a Celtic population within it, speaking a Celtic language. Again, those were ancient enemy peoples. Ethnicity is more fluid than we might like to think if we're being purist about it. We can't really be purist about it. And also it's silly for us to be so, because we are modern people, descended, for the most part, from a whole mix of ethnic antecedents. We're pretty much all of us mongrels. If we asked our ancestors about ethnic purity, they would probably hum and ha and say, "Why are you asking me this?" Beyond that, the question of race is largely a modern construct. As you can see, I'm white. The Germanic tribes are all white. But Celts are also white. So are Finns. The Finno-Ugric people are not even Indo-European, but they're white and they're Northern European. We can't use white or Northern European as equivalents. We can't use Northern European as a euphemism for Germanic. Race purity has little meaning when we're talking about one possibility among several. The Celtic gods and the Germanic gods and the Finnish gods are different. I choose to be a heathen. Some people I know were raised heathen. It's no treachery to the white race, whatever that means, for me to choose to be heathen, or for someone else to choose to be Celtic Reconstructionist, or for someone to choose a completely different religion. Think of it from another point of view. I think some of this confusion comes not only from Nazi propaganda and their warping of terminology about Indo-Europeanism, but also from our extensive exposure to the language of the desert god's religion, in which belief is confused with adherence. I believe in the desert god, but he's nothing to me. I also believe in the Celtic gods. They exist, but they're nothing to me. The gods to whom I have allegiance are the Germanic gods. That is no treachery, and neither is any other religious choice.